Hello, everyone. How are you today? I'm just feeling nice and prim and proper because yesterday, or today, I should say, they announced what's inside my Overkill safe. And y'all are like, Overkill safe? What's that? It's a safe that they gave me in Payday 2 on spring break where I bought a very limited edition of a DLC pack called the Completely Overkill pack. This came with 4 masks that were really cool and really unique. It was the 4 original Heisters Payday masks with like cool particle effects. My favorite is probably Wolf's. If you know that, you'll probably best know that as the guy that I put on my Facebook, and that's who I went as during the Halloween party. But anyways, he had like lightning shooting out of his eyes, and it was really cool looking. And yeah, but at the end of the Overkill pack, what was really cool about it was like you'll get a bonus gift, like something we haven't revealed yet, and it'll be unique because there'll only be 500,000 in the world, and only you and you and this small minority of people will have this item, and it'll be really unique, and you'll be able to show it off and all that shit. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I found out what it is. Uh, During last Crime Fest, they introduced their new microtransaction system, which allowed you to get safe drops in the game, which contained weapon skins. And these weapon skins were got from the safes that you got from drops, but you had to pay them $2.50 to open said case. Um, and you'd get like random skin from these safes. The completely overkill safe, the thing I paid $20 for to get those masks in this safe, contains the skin that you see right now on my gun that I'm firing, a P90, which is not that great in the game, as I show off quite clearly in this video. It has horrific recoil and damage, but this skin you see is what I got for $20. And this kinda tooted my horn, so to speak, and I want to talk to you about microtransactions. Again, yes, I know it's sounding like I'm beating a dead door now. Well, that made no sense. Beating a door to death, that made no sense either. Screw it, we're going with it. We're kicking a dog. But I feel like y'all aren't getting the message, or maybe y'all just don't think it's a big deal, when it quite, in fact, is a big deal. For you see, Overkill had the excuses. They said that they kind of trying to justify this by giving you free DLC with this completely Overkill pack, as well as making them even worse and making them give experience boosts. That's right, because I'm using this gun skin in here. Everyone in this group is getting an experience boost as the result of this mission. And I'm here to talk to you why microtransactions are bad. First off, you have to understand why microtransactions themselves are bad. Because microtransactions have two effects in a video game. One is to artificially extend the video game's playtime, because usually microtransactions can be bought by in-game currency. And this in-game currency is very, very slow to obtain, and you have to like sit there and play it 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 to get this money, to get the things that you buy with microtransactions. And this artificially increases the playtime, which is something game developers want. They want you to play their game more. And the this alternative fact to that is you could just say, F that, I'm not going to spend 3 hours in this video game to get this cool weapon skin. I'm just going to give you $5, which is their preferred method. And if you notice this, and looking at the reasons why I'm giving you, you might come to realize a certain thing. These have no benefit to you whatsoever. You are either devoting all your free time or your money for these items. This is not acceptable. And the thing is, people think it is acceptable. But we're going to get to that later. The cold hard truth of it is that Payday 2 and much of these video games that I'm complaining about are $60 titles that you can buy day one, and they also contain this within them. And this is unacceptable. Because not only are you already paid for the game, but you're splitting up this content. You're making this content unretrievable unless you devote all this time or all this money inside the game, which you've already bought. Like, that just blows my mind that that this happens and is happening nowadays. And the reason why it's happening nowadays is because of the previous successes with this system. The first big name game that came out with these things was Dead Space 3. That was it, Dead Space 3, where they had a crafting system that required materials which could be boosted if you gave them a little bit of the cheddar. This is a $60 game on release, and you could pay $3 to extend game time. And this is not cool in a game which you've already paid money for. Then these other games came out. More and more titles have come out with these things like Mortal Kombat X, and goodness, there's a lot of them. Halo 5, that's a recent one. And what they are trying to do is, like I said, the two effects: make you play longer or make you give them money. And here's the thing: companies themselves will continue to sell these microtransactions. Do you know why? It's because they think they're a success. You know why they think they're a success? Because they're making so much money off of it. They're making money off of a system designed to make money. And they're claiming success. It was like, well, if this wasn't so popular or so good, why are we making all this money off of it? Halo 5, that game that came out last week, made $500,000 on microtransactions in the first fucking week. And they're looking at that and saying, this is okay, the people like this, otherwise they wouldn't be giving us money. No, the people are giving you money because they are given those two choices: playing it longer or giving you money straight out. And now I know a lot of you are going to go on the defensive and say, they're going to give that tired old expressions. Well, microtransactions don't affect me. Microtransactions, I never bought one, so therefore they don't affect me. That is bullshit. I'll give you a cool analogy to explain what microtransactions will do to you. Alright? Just imagine you're a fat-ass American. Well, that's not too hard to do, because most of y'all are fat-ass Americans. Bazinga! And, imagine you're going on a diet, right? And you're eating good, and you're eating nice, eating those delicious, delicious salads. You know what? I've been good to myself. I'm gonna go treat myself to this nice, pretty high-star restaurant and get me some, delicious bean sprouts. Something better than a salad that I've made myself. I want to treat myself well. And now imagine you go to this thing, you paid for your meal, they sit down the delicious bean sprouts in front of you, and then out of nowhere, they come in and they set a delicious triple icing flavored red velvet cake, and they just sit it on the corner of your table. And then they put a little sign saying $1.25 per a slice. If you couldn't tell, the microtransactions are represented by the red velvet cake. It's true that you can, out of sheer will, decide not to buy said cake or microtransactions. But the fact is, they had the stinking audacity to place that cake in front of you. They had the audacity to put it there to let you go into temptation to buy one. Now, I myself, and you're probably thinking still, oh, I don't buy microtransactions. I am against microtransactions as said by this video, and I myself had fell victim to it. For example, I won't give the game's title because I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Dragon Age? Maybe? I don't know. No, it was Mass Effect. It was Mass Effect. I'm sorry. Mass Effect 3, the multiplayer had microtransactions. And I had spent hours and hours playing that game to get enough money to buy a pack that'll get me a new character. And there's this new character that came out that I wanted really, really bad. And I wanted it so much that, I opened up a pack and I didn't get it. And then I looked at it and I was like, you know what? One of these things costs only like $1.50. Let's just get another pack right now because I'm so upset that I didn't get one. And maybe this one will have the character I want. I bought a pack and I opened it and I didn't get anything. And that's when I looked down and I realized that I had fallen victim to what I preach. And I was truly, truly ashamed. So, I'm here to tell you how you stop microtransactions in your video games, because they aren't going to stop. They're going to, people, like I said, see this as a success. They are going to keep on putting these microtransactions in games until these things happen. Number one way to prevent microtransactions is not to buy them. I'm not joking. Don't buy any of them at all. They are not worth your time. They are not worth your money. They are designed to squeeze every little bit of dollar out of you. Number two, do not stop talking about them, because that's what people do. They sit there and say, oh, these microtransactions are bullshit, this is bullshit, and then like 2 weeks later, they don't talk about them anymore. I want you to, every time you mention a game with microtransactions, I want you to be like, yeah, I played Halo 5's campaign the other day on Legendary. They have microtransactions and it's bullshit, and they are fucking assholes for putting that in the game. But I liked the campaign, it was pretty good, and I had fun, and we died a lot, and it was a great time. Fuck microtransactions. I want you to do that every time you mention a game with microtransactions, and I want you to go up to the developers, and I want you to hit them with everything you got. You gotta hit them with everything you got. You gotta tell them that they're pieces of shit. I mean, don't do that thing where they're like, I'm gonna go into your house and murder you, but like, bomb them, hit them with their review scores, bomb their Metacritic. It sounds like pretty shitty tactics, but that's really the only way that they'll listen. Because like I said, people are still gonna give them money. And they're gonna sit there and go, this pile of money says otherwise. People like this because we have this big pile of money. And that's the only thing they understand is money. Because video games are no longer run by those people who want to make good video games. They are run by the suits. The people who are sitting there who want to make all of the money, not just some of the money. They want to turn video games into something that they can just quite literally take you, turn you over, and shake down all that fucking sweet cash out of your body. And it's still going to happen unless we do something about it. It's going to keep on continuing until we finally do something about it. You want proof that the community can do something? Let's talk about, there was a game coming out. I'm sure you've heard of it, the new Deus Ex. And they had this thing called Augment Your Pre-Order, where they literally divided content in your pre-order to quite literally push more pre-orders. They also had them sectioned off, so it's like, oh, if you this many people pre-order the game, you unlock this tier. And the community went fucking nuts. And they disliked every video of it. They sent them hateful emails. They just quite literally took a massive shit on that company for the audacity to do such a thing. And guess what? That's no longer a thing. Augment your pre-order is no longer there because they came out and said, fuck you. This is not acceptable. This is not what we expect from your game company. And that's happening right now to Overkill in this sweet game I'm showing you right now. People are revolting. Payday's Metacritic has been bombed to hell. They are trying their best to cover up the fact just to like push everything to the side and put out all this PR BS that says, oh, but our game is successful. But in reality, they are not. They just sit there and they are pushing everything aside. Because once again, the developers don't give two fucking shits about you. They care about your money. So if we all come together, and anytime a microtransaction laden game comes out and we say, fuck you, and I'm not going to buy them, and don't buy them. I'm not saying boycott the games because we love these games, right? But just let them know that they're bullshit and keep on letting them know that they're bullshit. They will eventually stop. Because right now, y'all are coming to accept it. Y'all are like, it doesn't affect me. I can just accept it. It affects you regardless of whether you think it doesn't. They are designed to test your patience. They are designed to break you down to give you all that sweet cheddar. And they are not for you. They are not for me. They are not for anyone. So, what I want y'all to do is to just not stop talking about it. If you let it die, you are letting them win. You, the gamers, you, the video game players, are letting the corporations win. You are letting them shit all over you and then complain that you're getting shat on. Don't let this happen. I feel like I'm starting a V for Vendetta thing going on right here. Oh, and here's the microtransactions, by the way. If you aren't wondering, see the safes, and now you can have you can pay $2.50 to open these to get weapon skins. They give buffs and experience buffs. You don't see it right now, but it's showing they cost $2.50. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my video. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.